Hi, this is Grace King. Welcome to A Stone's Throw, my blog about everything there is to do in Bucks County. Now, you can find me at Peace Valley Park, Lake Galena, in Bucks County, Obvi. And I'm sitting here right next to the dam in a little mowed area right next to some rocks. And I'm just observing the water and everyone in it, walking around on the path. Some people paddleboarding I can see. When I got here, there was a huge family partaking in festivities right next to the parking lot because there's a lot of playgrounds and little picnic areas to spend time at. I think someone just capsized in their kayak, which is always a blast here. I have a lot of fond memories here in my family whenever we were wanting to be outside but didn't feel like paying for the gas to go to somewhere a little more natural. We would always come here. We would kayak a few times, which was really lovely, especially at sunset. We would do that a few times. I think we took our Christmas card pictures here some years, last day of school walks a lot of the time, just some good conversation. My mom started the cursing bench, which was a staple in our household for a good 3 years, where if we sat on it, it was the only place in the world where we were allowed to cuss as much as we wanted to. And then once we got off that bench, no more. We don't tend to use that much often anymore, but it was a go-to in grades 3 to 5. There was a lovely bird that just flew by. But this park is really just a lovely place to be. It's like, as I said before, it's not really natural. Actually, the history is pretty interesting. So it used to be on a town where people would live and work and play and do other things. It was called Levin, but in the 1860s, 1870s, it was bought by a mining tycoon who was he participated in the gold rush too. But it's actually called Lake Galena because Galena is one of the purest forms of lead that there is, and it used to reside on a huge lead mine. So from the 1800s to the 1970s, Lake Galena, as it's known now, was a huge lead mine. There was just a fish that jumped across the water. That was cool. It was a huge lead mine. Luckily, we've worked out the kinks, and it's not dangerous to have fun or swimming anymore. There's no traces of lead to my knowledge. But yeah, it used to be a lead mine, and in the 1970s, the whole town was kind of podunk. It wasn't used very often. Somewhere in the 1900s, they eventually stopped using the land for mining because it would continuously get flooded and you couldn't work there. Eventually, Bucks County Parks and Rec bought the plot of land from the mining tycoon in the 1970s, and they flooded it, and it is what it is now. It's a beautiful man-made park and lake, and it's really, really just a lovely place to be, even though it's kind of artificial. It's so sunny most of the time. There's always wildlife around. You can always find a cute patch of deer. I was here a few weeks ago, and my dad and I were walking, and it was 8 p.m. on a Sunday night. I was procrastinating all my schoolwork, and I was just like, Dad, let's go for a walk. I don't feel like being mad at myself for procrastinating anymore. So we went here, and luckily my B-reel went off, which was awesome, because we just passed 12 deer, and B-reel's the only thing I care about because I'm an 18-year-old girl. So I took my B-reel of my dad and the deer, and it was great. But yeah, there's always cool stuff around here. I love just coming here and reading a book or just talking to my friends. I'll always see someone I know here, which is both a pro and a con. I'm hoping nobody sees me recording this right now because that would be pretty awkward. But yeah, I love it here. I have so many good pictures. When I was in middle school and tried to have my photography era where I thought I was professional, this would be like my number one place to go just because there's so much going on all the time. There's a lot of beautiful flowers. There is still a lot. I haven't looked into it very much, but on the way to the dam, there's like a lot that looks like a bunch of minerals and stuff. So maybe that's remnants from the old lead mine. Let's hope not. But yeah, there's a lot to do here. It's 6 miles. I remember in 3rd grade, I was so proud of myself because my mom and I came here and we walked 6 miles in one day. It took us like 3 hours or something. It was like the most exertion I'd ever had in my life. And it was like over the summer, but apparently, I guess it was just such a big deal to me at the time because I came to school I guess the next school year, obviously. I went to school and like my mom was like, okay, when they ask you like what you did this summer, you're gonna say I walked 6 whole miles around Peace Valley. I don't know why I remember that. I think it was like 3rd graders, but it was a pivotal moment for me, setting the bar real high. But yeah, I love it here. There's so much to do. I always come here with my cousins, and it's really, really just quite lovely. One of my favorite parts of coming to Peace Valley is seeing all the dogs. I love all the dogs. They're like my favorite. They're always so friendly when they're here for some reason. I think they like being in nature, as one does. Makes sense, but yeah, it's fun seeing all the wildlife and domesticated life partake in artificial nature. How quaint. Yeah. There's always parties going on, always families. I can hear people very far away just laughing and cahooting. I don't know. There's a lot of fun to be had. One of my other favorite parks to go to is Lake Nakamixin, another classic, very, very similar to Peace Valley, although much more natural. I was there last weekend. I was here last weekend for a party because my friend, her parents are like rangers there, I think, and they get to live in the park house, which is very, very cool. They have like a whole barn. She took us on a deer path. They like had a very, very natural living style, which was cool to witness, but the party was also fun. And yeah, I love Lake Mixon. There's definitely a lot more opportunities than in Peace Valley. Peace Valley is pretty much monolateral. You just walk around, maybe sit by the water, go to the picnic areas. But Nakamixon, there's a lot to do. A lot of different like waterfronts. Obviously, there's the dam, which is stunning and beautiful. And like it's definitely much more of a hike place than a walk place, walking and running. Peace Valley is basically like a track, and like Nakamixon is like a mountain, like it's a hike. Because I know with the dam area, it's a lot of climbing and definitely a lot of mud at times. But yeah, there's a lot of different like alcoves that I brought a kayak there once, and there was a lot of different areas, like hidden areas that we could go to, which was very cool. I remember one time in I think junior year, because I had just gotten my license. It was in the fall, or no, it was in like the winter, so nobody was there, absolutely nobody was there, but I was going to Target, so I was like, why not have some fun at Nakamixon first? So I pulled into the parking lot. I ran down to the water to see if anyone was there. I was kind of scared for my life, low-key, because I wasn't used to being alone in such a, like, wide, spread out place. So I was a little bit scared, but it was okay. No one killed me, as we have found out. And no one killed me, as is evident. But it was a lot of fun. It was like the day after it had snowed a bunch, so there was snow all around me. I got some pretty measly pictures, but they seemed cool to me at the time. And I just, like, I had, like, a dance party with it's kind of embarrassing, but I had, like, a dance party with myself, like, right by the water. There was, like, a ton of geese who were just, like, about to, like, head in the water. It was just, I don't know, I don't want to say it's magical, that sounds precious, but it felt really, really cool, like, to be by myself there. And I think that's a lot of, obviously, obviously it's just a pro of, like, gaining independence and being able to drive yourself places, but it's a very cool advantage that I guess leaving adolescence has. But yeah, that was a lovely day. I've done a lot of hikes with my dad there. It's our, like, number 2 spot next to Peace Valley, just because it's a little further. But yeah, I love it there. There's a lot to do, a lot to be seen, a lot of, yet again, fun to be had. Some of my favorite memories of, like, childhood summers are, like, finding all the, like, raspberry and blackberry and wineberry bushes, so I can, because I'm such a foodie, so what the? I just heard, like, a growl, so I'm gonna move, because that freaked me out, but I'll catch up in a second. Okay, I'm still at Peace Valley. I think I'm gonna head out, though, and go shopping for a grad dress, because I saw on some people's private stories that I think a lot of juniors are here right now taking prom pictures, and me in my Sixers t-shirt and sweatpants, and not sweating profusely, but sweating enough. I don't think that's really prom picture appropriate, so I'm just gonna avoid any of those conversations, and head back to my car. But it really is a lovely day. I think it's one of the first days. I'm sorry about the wind. It's because it is a lovely day. It's got a lot of wind going on. But it's probably one of the first really spring-like days of spring. And it's a sunny Saturday. People are out and about on the town. I saw some kids learning how to bike. I saw one kid learning how to walk, which was really cute. I saw one family pushing their grandmother around on a wheelchair, just getting about the town and walking around. It's a really lovely place, even though it is artificial, as we were saying earlier. But I think it's one of the nicest places to just walk around in Bucks County. And I'm really glad we have it. There's a lot of people fishing today, a lot of people scootering. I saw one girl on an electric scooter. She looked pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. It's a very, very cool place, I think. But I'm glad it's a part of our tiny community. There's a lot of cool interactions to be had. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to spending the next 3 months trying to get the most out of our area before I leave. And I'm glad I get to do stuff like this, just observing. Right now I'm just people watching. It's very awkward, but it's probably one of the better parts of living in a small town. It's a big small town, you know? So I don't know anyone that I've seen here today. But I can still, like, just observe, and yeah, it's it's nice. But yeah, I'm gonna sign off and say ta for now. I'll see you later. Bye.